Welcome back to another edition of Blades Hockey. Tonight, the boys are in Park Rapids for the first of a two-game tilt here this week. A little bit of a home-and-home series due to the cancellation of the game earlier against the Park Rapids Panthers. Boys on a two-game win streak right now, Coach, and playing some pretty decent hockey after their 6-0 win in Morris, and they kind of had a squeaker prior to that in Wadena.
Yeah, I think the Wadena game was definitely something where I think if you talk to the players and talk to everybody around the team, they were quite disappointed in how they came out and played, not taking anything away from Wadena. I think Wadena came out and played a solid game. I think you and I both talked about that at that game, that they looked much better than they did last year, a lot faster, a lot better with the puck, probably a little bit more better position. But still, it was a game that I figured would have been a little bit more easy for them, and it was not. A lot of running around, a lot of not doing your job during that game, I felt anyways. And nice response against Morris to come back. And, well, that was a game where Wadena, where we saw Cale pulled, I think, for the first time in his career.
Yeah, so Mauer Loken getting his first win at the varsity level and came in and I think steadied the boys a little bit and made some big saves and definitely earned his first win.
Yeah, that was exciting for him. I think as a freshman to be able to get your first win at varsity hockey is a big deal. And he had to face 10 shots, let one in. That's a good ratio for a freshman coming in that situation, and was able to pull off the win. It was 3-3 late, and I think he scored a goal late in the game, or late in the third to take the lead, and then an empty netter. So it was much tighter than what a 5-3 might even appear.
The empty netter there to kind of save face, but Mauer making some big stops down the stretch. What could have easily gone the other way for the Blades, but luckily escaped unscathed. And then, like you mentioned there, probably a little bit of sloppy play, probably cheating the game a little bit, maybe taking advantage of a little bit of a weaker Wadena team, although a very well-coached team. Like you said, they did look better than last year. So low on numbers there, but still really gave the Blades all they could handle at times. But then, like you mentioned, the boys bounced back. Headed into Morris. Weren't really sure exactly what to expect heading in there, but they came out and I thought played some really good hockey, really disciplined hockey. Kind of got back to playing the way they should, kind of how they looked in the holiday tournament, and got things done there.
Yeah, much better game. Went back to playing their style of hockey, and they were rewarded for that. Cale looked sharp. He bounced back. Was able to get his first career shutout in high school hockey, which congrats to him. So we have back-to-back games where we had a first victory and a first career shutout. So that was also a game, the Morris one, leading up to it. Everybody was nervous because the rumor was number 7 was coming back for the first time, and that was the first game back. And we all remember the last time that number 7 played against the Blades. It was quite interesting. One of the more interesting things I've ever seen transpire in a high school hockey game. But he was pretty tempered. He was not very active from a physical standpoint, so I think there was probably some conversations in their locker room about just, you got to mind your P's and Q's out on the ice.
So so the Blades came out, took care of business again, getting the first shutout. Again, congrats to Cale. Nice to see him bounce back after what we know that he felt was probably one of the weaker performances he had. I know he was frustrated there in Wadena, but like you said, didn't hang his head, came back out, got right to work, and like you said, got his first shutout. So kudos to him. What do we know about the Park Rapids Panthers?
Yeah, they're 2-10, and just looking at scores recently, it kind of seems like they're starting to come on here as of late. They had a very slow start. I remember Finn Henry, which is the leading scorer of Park Rapids, his dad coached against us in a team at the Pee Wee level. So I talked to him after their first game when they played Bagley and lost like 11-1 or something like that. And I know he expressed quite a bit of frustration on that roster. But it seems like as the games progress for this Park Rapids team, it looks like, judging by the scores and the results, that it's getting closer. And they've actually picked up a couple of wins here as of late. The 2 wins coming in the last couple of games that they played. One against Prairie Center, which is a team that beat us earlier this year.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of hot and cold for the Panthers here. Like you said, maybe starting to pick up their play as of late. We know that this was a roster that was kind of depleted after some some high-level departures from last season, but like you said, Finn Henry carrying the load there, currently sitting at 6 goals, 6 assists in 12 games.
12 goals, 6 assists.
Sorry, 12 goals, 6 assists. So already hitting double digits in goals for the season in 12 games. So a goal-a-game player. And what was the statistic there in the Prairie Center game?
He scored 6 and 6 of the 7 goals in the Prairie Center game.
Well, it's easy to get to 12 when you can score 6 in one game. So, but yeah, 6 of 7 goals in a defeated Prairie Center, which, as we saw earlier, is no slouch.
No.
So he's going to be a dynamic force here tonight for the Panthers, and the Blades are going to need to shut him down if they plan on winning this game. I think that's a given.
Yeah, I think if I recall from last year too, I think he had a hat trick against us both times we played. And he's one of those guys that if you give him some space, he's just going to wind up and he'll go end to end. And he's got a good enough shot that he'll beat most goaltenders from just about anywhere on the ice. So you definitely have to contest him on his zone entry, not get him in tight.
So the Blades D has been real good at times at shutting down the neutral zone and taking space away from players, but also really bad at times at giving up the zone too easy and letting players walk in. So I guess we'll see how they're going to play him tonight. Hopefully it's tight checking, taking away the neutral zone. Traditionally, the Blades have always played pretty well up here and not really been rewarded for it. I don't know that the Blades have beat Park Rapids in the last 2 or 3 years.
They lost both games last year to them, and I remember the game up here specifically. I don't think we could have done much more to beat that goaltender. That goaltender stood on his head.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better effort for that goaltender, and I think that goaltender really pulled that game out. And it was in overtime or maybe close to the end.
I think it was an overtime game. I think, and that's the game that David Beam had started as Kale was sick last year, and he kind of stood on his head, did his part, and it was just kind of an old-fashioned goaltender duel.
Yep.
And Panthers got the better of the Blades that night. I know the boys want this one. This is a team they want to beat, and I know they think they have a shot today, but again, that's going to depend on how they play Henry. A couple other players for the Panthers of note, Easton Brovold. He's also a scorer. He's 11th grader, another player that the Blades are going to want to check tightly. On the Blades side of things, who's been scoring goals for the Blades recently? I know since we probably have last had a telecast here, some big changes in the lineup with Matthew Peterson moving off the blue line and into the number 1C role, where he is shown to be good so far.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you look at Matt's talents, both skating and with the puck, I think that's what Coach Wertzma is seeing, is how do we get some more offense there, and he's definitely a shooter, and he's proved that so far in the 2 games that he's been up on the forward or the center position.
So I think he had a couple of power play goals against Morris, and I know he had 2 goals against Wadena. So since the move, probably sitting with 4 goals in 2 games. And it's paid off so far for Coach Wertzma. Isaiah Brushard has been moved down on the 3rd line with Mike Peterson and Jack Ekren, and kind of adopted a bit of a checking role for that line. It'll be interesting to see if they'll try to match that line up against the Henry line tonight.
Well, I would assume so. I mean, all those guys are good skaters and can match their speed, so it would be smart for Coach Wertzma to throw those guys over every single time Finn is. I'm going to guess Finn's going to see guys just about every other shift this game, so you probably can't do it all the time, but as much as you possibly can, get those guys out there against them.
It'll be interesting to see if the Blades can maybe take advantage. Change. So Park Rapids will be able to kind of get that mismatch with Henry out there, but like you said, he's gonna log so many minutes tonight. I don't know that's even gonna matter.
No, it's the situation. You look at who's standing out there, and we know that they're having some illness issues because it was 4-on-4 for the JV game before that, and that was the whole reason why. But I think I counted 15 skaters out there that they're gonna probably be at least 6 forwards are going to be relied on pretty heavily, and I can't imagine that 3rd line is going to see ice time for Park Rapids.
So the 2nd line getting the start tonight, Casti in the middle with Ritter and Nepal on the wings, and Luke Craig and Charlie Ekren on the blue line. Of course, Cale Gilbertson between the pipes for the Blades. So the Blades in a bit of a tough scheduling stretch here, where they're playing 2 or 3 games a week pretty much for almost the remainder of the year, I believe.
Yeah, they got Park Rapids coming to town on Thursday, and then Kitson Central on Saturday. Thank goodness we don't have to go to Kitson.
Well, we have to go to Grafton, don't we?
Yeah, we got to go to Grafton at some point.
It's pretty much the same thing. Just take a left instead of a right. And you're pretty much about the same distance. So
I saw Grafton. Did they just beat Crookston? I think 5-4. I think is what I saw today. So Grafton must be playing pretty good up there.
They're generally a pretty decent program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So starting for the Panthers, Ethan Torola, number 3. Number 9, Gus Peterson. Number 7, Finn Henry. Number 15, Colton Hauser. And number 35 in goal, Logan Felton. So that'll be the starting lineup for the Panthers. Kind of a unique situation with the back-to-back games. I like that. I wish we could do that a little bit more often. I think that builds a little bit of rivalry,
yeah,
a little bit of familiarity with each other, and you lose one, you can quick get one back, or vice versa. So
it's always fun to see how the coaches make adjustments too. So like you can make in-game adjustments, that's fine, but then all of a sudden now you can make lineup adjustments with that extra practice in between, and you can look back at the film and say, hey, you guys, this spot's open up in the ice. Let's try to exploit that. So it's always interesting to see when you can play on a back-to-back how you can make those adjustments, and like you said, maybe take one from a team that when you played so close to each other, can play back-to-back.
So I guess the downside is if you have an injury or some illness, you're going to and you're weak, you maybe drop 2 right away, to a team. And again, this would be a conference game, so it's one of the plays they're going to want to get. And I believe Tony had put it out for the remainder of the conference games. They have the Blades win out, they control their destiny, they'd win the conference outright. I believe for the first time in a while.
Ever, maybe?
Maybe ever, yeah. I can't remember the last time they won the conference. I know they were co-champions last year, but they would have sole possession of the conference championship if they win out the remainder of their conference games. So we're going to break here for the anthem, and we'll be back shortly.
See your buddy Cheeks is up on the fishing. He made the trip up here.
Yeah, long stretch. I mean, you see, I think his first name is Zach.
Zach.
I think Zach, see him reffing games from, way down Prairie Center area, clear up here to Park Rapids, Detroit Lakes. He's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, have whistle will drive, right?
Yeah. You bet. He reffed a Bantam game of ours this year, too, in Fergus. So, yeah, he's all over the map.
Got to follow up on that conference championship, that win for Park Rapids. Beating Prairie Center set that whole table up for the Blades to be able to right that ship here, or just be able to win the conference championship. That's a big deal right there. So a big thanks for Park Rapids for doing that and giving the Blades a shot at a conference title.
Did you catch the JV contest?
7-3 Blades won.
Blades win, yeah. I did hear that. How was the game? Did you see any of it?
I was watching a bit of it. it was good flow, 4-on-4 hockey, so it was wide open, and definitely with the way Coach Wurtzman coaches with that flow hockey, it definitely played in our favor.
Hopefully a sign of things to come for the Blades as they control in the Panther, and Easton chips it in the corner. Nepple, that is. Casti there. He's boarded, and Henry will skate away with the puck. Turned over briefly, and we got some action behind the play here. Looks like we're getting our first penalty, and it'll be on Park Rapids for high sticking. So really looking at the Blades power play, I think this is one area that they're going to need to capitalize if they're going to win tonight, is on special teams.
Yeah, I looked good in Wadena and Morris. Up to that point, it was pretty much average for the season, so we'll see if they'll continue to click as far as what we saw in Wadena and Morris.
So I think the Blades went, what, 3 for 4 on the power play in Morris?
Yeah, it was on.
Pretty tough to beat 75%.
Yeah.
Park Rapids controls, and they're going to shoot it out of play. So Casti with Lopez, McDonald, Peterson on the point, Matthew, and Nepple on the other point. We're getting kind of a bit of a tough vantage point tonight, so we're looking way in out the other end. Puck cleared out by Park Rapids. That'll come all the way down to Gilbertson. He'll set it up for Peterson. He's going to take a minute here behind his own net. Let the play develop. Skates out with it. Tries to drop for Nepple. And Henry for the Panthers gets in, turns him back. Now he'll regroup. Plays to McDonald. McDonald back through the middle to Nepple. Nepple gains the zone. Drives it deep behind the net. Rounds, holds, looks. Back to the blue line. Peterson. Rink wide to Lopez. Settles it down. Plays to McDonald, or to Casti in the corner. Back to Lopez. Got a man in his face. Plays it back to Casti on the half wall. Rink wide to Peterson. It's off his skate. It's going to bounce to Nepple. Comes back to the blue line where it's dumped in. McDonald drops for Nepple. Just evades him, and the Panthers will get the clear with 55 to go. Hard rim by Gilbertson. That'll be picked up by Lopez. Skates in front of his net. Got pressure. Leaves for Peterson. He starts up ice. Plays to his brother, Michael. Gains the Panther zone, but it was offside as he was poke checked there at the last minute.
Yeah, just that little stutter step at the blue line. The rest of the line mates trying to time that zone entry and just getting offside, just a little ahead of Mikey there with the puck. Puck here going wide.
Panthers control the draw and shoot it down. Gilbertson's going to set it up for Luke Craig. He rounds the net with pressure, leaves for Akron. Akron dishes back to Craig. Blades will skate out of the zone. Akron over the line. Holds, turns it back. Nobody there, though. And the Blades regroup at neutral ice with Brushert with the puck. Peterson poke checked at the line again. Park Rapids doing a good job of protecting the line. Now puck is played in the corner. Brushert's hit behind the net. Leaves the puck for Jack Akron. Akron for Peterson on the half wall. Takes a hit, and Park Rapids will be at full strength. Man out of the box, gets behind Akron, just about to shoot, and he was turned over. Luke Craig comes back and regroups the play. Starts it up for Brushert. Brushert, Akron in the middle. Again, Blade stopped on the entry. As Park Rapids is going to, good job of standing up at their line right now. Quick transition play. Peterson off the bench, tries to get through the defender, and is pushed into the corner. Now Hoffman up the blue line. Can't get the shot away. Played to McDonald, off his stick and into the corner. Lopez helps him out. Scoops the loose puck up the half wall, turns and dumps down in the corner. McDonald circles, gives to Hoffman at the line. He has trouble with it, and it's going to bounce off his stick and into the neutral zone. He goes rink wide to his partner and back through the middle for Peterson. He dumps it in. McDonald will be the first man there for the Blades. Gus Peterson has it for the Panthers. He fans on the pass. Works it up the half wall, but that's right onto a Blade stick. Comes back to neutral. It's a 2-on-2. Peterson tries to get the pass through. Broken up by Hoffman. And comes to Matthew Peterson. Works it to Lopez. He leaves for Matthew. Back into the corner of the Lopez. Rounds the net. looking for help. Far point for Brewer. Back to Lopez. Fires. That's off a skate. And the Blades are going to have to get back. Hoffman. Henry steps through him. Looks like we're going to get a hooking call.
Yeah, just probably an ill-advised high zone play right there. Sometimes you get in trouble, you just want to dump that puck down low. Ends to a turnover, and the one guy that we don't want racing down the ice right there, Finn Henry, their leading goal scorer.
I would agree. So a little bit of sloppy play high in the zone. As you saw, Brewer kind of looks like he was moving down the wall for a pass instead of maybe backing out and protecting, and Henry stripped the puck off of somebody there and away to the races. Hoffman has to come back, and then we have to take a hooking penalty. So maybe a little bit smarter play. High in our zone, like you said, sometimes you just got to dump that puck down and live to fight another day, as opposed to making that high zone turnover, which can be dangerous.
Especially this early in the game, you're sustaining zone time, winning loose puck battles. It's a good, smart play right there.
Puck controlled by the Panthers. They played it in the corner. Ekron surveys up the half wall. Neppel breaks up that pass, but can't get control. Now it's work to the line. Almost out. And dumped down behind the net. Now back to the line. And dumped around. That'll be controlled there by the Panthers. Braden Christinger stripped off of him. Ekron takes him down to the ice. And Luke Craig rims it around. That'll come all the way to Neppel, and he'll get it all the way down the ice. With Casti putting pressure on the puck up ice. Panthers come away with it. Rink wide play and dumped in. Ekron will be the first man there. Gets a tip on the puck, comes right to Neppel. He controls, gets it to neutral. Now it's a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Panthers back, dropped for Casti. He fires. That's off. Gus Peterson skating into the corner. Henry comes over the boards. As the Panthers shoot the puck down, that'll be touched, so there's no icing. Hoffman with it, off the glass and to the neutral zone. And on the stick of Brushert for a moment. Brewer steps up, chips the puck into the Panther zone, where they'll take control. It's Finn Henry across the Blades line, circles back, steps through Hoffman, shoots. As he had a man going to the net, looking for the deflection or tip. Jam play attempted, and they say it went in. I didn't see it, and we got a pretty good vantage point.
Yeah, I saw him reach back there, but I couldn't see if the puck crossed the line or not.
I didn't see it. I didn't see that cross. I don't think the ref did either. I mean, he has the same view we do, basically. Yeah. We're just over top of him, and I did not see the puck in the net. Might have been on the line, might have been close, but it's got to be 100% cross.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have video review, so what he says goes at this point.
Can't argue it. Blades are down 1-0 now.
And kind of a soft play as the two Panthers are behind the net, and they just stepped out and jammed it in. So Blades kind of passing up on some offense there, maybe in favor of one too many passes already, and instead of just putting a puck to the net, and now they find themselves down a goal. So it is Henry with the goal. Neppel's shot goes just wide from high in the zone. Brewer steps down to control the puck. Blades work the puck back high in the zone. D to D. Hoffman fires. That's deflected into the corner. Puck held in nicely by Brewer on the clearing attempt by Henry. That's played to the front of the net, and the Panthers are just going to ice it at this point and get a change.
Yeah, I think you're right. That was one of the comments we watched earlier in the period. Charlie Ekron gained the zone through the middle, and then I think he was probably to the dots in the middle of the ice, and he didn't shoot the puck, and he's got a good shot, and we really don't get to see that, but they're looking pass, and guys that shoot.
I would agree. I believe this goaltender is probably a little bit untested, too, at least from what I've seen. I believe did they graduate their goaltender from last year?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so he was good as Craig tees one up. Big rebound. So the Blades are going to want to get some pucks to the net here, as that was their first shot on goal of the game. Ekron fires. Turned into the corner as he was low in the slot. Had a nice look there. Akron scrums it along the near side half wall. Now it's back to Craig at the point. He loads it up, fires again right into the pads of the goaltender. Steered to the corner. So Blades with no shots in the first 8 minutes and 3 shots in the last 5 seconds. So they got the message, I guess. Puck comes right in on Gilbertson. He plays it to Craig. Out of the zone go the Blades. Rink wide for Mike Peterson. Tries to step through the defender, and he's played nicely by Braden Christinger. Brushard has trouble at the line, and it's chipped back out by the Panthers. Hoffman regroups. He gets the red. He'll dump it and continue on. Put pressure on the puck, takes his man hard into the end wall. Panthers control in their own zone. Off the wall and through the neutral zone. 2 nice moves before the puck is turned over. Now it's turned back to Hoffman behind the net as he takes a hit. McDonald has trouble, and fans on the initial pass. Gets the puck up. Peterson's going to win a race to a loose puck, though. Puts one on. Nice save by the goaltender, Logan Felton. Puck held in by Brewer. And cleared back in by McDonald. Lopez, first man there for the Blades. Puck comes to Peterson. He works it up to Hoffman. He has trouble with it again, and it's in the neutral zone where he's going to regroup to Brewer. And Blades come across the line. McDonald feeds. Peterson, he deflected the pass to the net. And now it comes back to Peterson, who's got one glove on. He tries to center, and that'll be controlled by the Panthers. The way they come 3-on-2, puck driven wide. Centered, that's broken up nicely. Craig chips it up to Lopez. He's down the wall, cuts outside, looks to shoot, leaves for Craig on the trail. He takes it around the net, back to Lopez. He has trouble with it, and it's to Ekron at the line. Back down to Lopez off the wall, shoots, steered into the corner. So Blades really coming on now with the last 6 shots in the game as we have 7:30 to play in the first. Nepple regroups, gets the puck back. Poked off of him before Ekron chips it in the zone. Panthers come back out with it, and they just kind of shoot it out, controlled by Ekron. Goes D to Craig. He goes rink wide to Nepple. It's off of him, and he takes a hit, which probably should have been interference. Yeah. He didn't have the puck. Looks like he's okay, as that could have been dangerous. Puck controlled low by the Blades. They work it to the line. D to D. Craig with it, fires. I don't know if that was a pass or a shot, but it got down into Nepple, and he steered a backhand up high. I think it just went over the net. Now again to the point. Ekron fires on, and this time it'll be held for the 7th shot of the game by the Blades.
Yeah, the coach must have said the exact same thing we said. Go shoot the puck, boys. Because now they are. They're working the puck up down, or they're working the puck low, getting it up to the points, and then crashing the net. Good hockey right here.
Well, we are genius hockey minds, so it doesn't surprise me that they would see the same thing.
Elite hockey minds.
Yeah, there we go. So this shot by Hoffman is deflected. The Panthers come away with it. Brewer on a nice pinch. Saw the man had his head down, and he gambled, and he got the puck. Now he steers it clear down into the Panther zone and chases it down there. Gains control. Played to Ekron. Ekron to Mike Peterson at the line. He has trouble, and the Panthers will chip the puck to neutral, where it'll be controlled by Hoffman in his own end. Kind of has trouble. Shoots it back up to Brewer, who's still up ice. Plays it off his stick. Panthers will touch the puck first, so no high stick. And Blades turn him over again. Put it behind the net. 6:05 to go in the first. 1-0 Park Rapids. Hoffman with the puck. Soft chip towards the net. Nobody there. Play to the line again. Brewer. All the way across to Hoffman. He has trouble. Chips it behind the net. It's going to rim all the way around. Big hit by Brushard. I'm not sure the call. They're going to call interference as he looks like he maybe stepped in just a second early.
Yeah, that he probably was a tad early. Never had possession of the puck or anything like that, so I'm not going to argue the call. But it's funny that we didn't get a call not more than 2 minutes earlier in the game, like almost similar play.
I believe that's exactly what Adam Wurtzen was saying to him right here. We saw the same play on Easton Nepple, And now you're going to call this, and like I said, you can't argue that call because Isaiah didn't really even attempt to play the puck. He saw the man. The puck was close. It was close, but he did not try to play the puck. He just tried to play the man. And so I'm not going to argue that, but I guess I thought the same exact thing happened to Nepal in a little more dramatic fashion even. Puck controlled by the Panthers. They'll fire. That's tipped wide. And Gus Peterson controls for the Panthers. Gets it up to the blue line. Chips it back down. And now comes to him in the corner. Tries the center. That's broken up by Ekron. Nepal comes away with it. Gives to Casti. Casti tries to make a move at the line. Does get the puck deep. Took a bit of a hit. And Panthers control. It's going to be an ice. Nope, it's waved as it was touched on the correct side of the red line. Ekron takes a hit. And Connor Ball of the Panthers. Puck is scrummed on the wall between Ball, Nepal, and Ekron, and the Panthers control. Shot to the line, trickles just wide as Gilbertson saw it last minute, got a glove on it. And it's blown down, even though the puck was loose. Ref just lost sight of it. That was a close one.
Yeah, that one was seeing eye puck going through there. I don't think Cale really saw that through that mess of bodies in front of him, and kind of
picked it up last minute.
Picked it up last minute, and thankfully steered it just wide of the net.
So a minute 9 to go in the Panthers' second power play of the game. Again, shot on through a maze of bodies. Does get to Gilbertson, but this one wasn't quite as hard as the last one. You saw this one a little bit clearer. Panthers regroup, and they're going to hard rim it around. McDonald will be the first man to the puck. He chips it, and Peterson's away. He's got room. He's down the wall. Can he get to the net? Fires. Held by Felton. So a little bit of offense on the kill here.
Yeah, nice play on Kai. I think their MO is just going to be that rim play, right?
Looks like it so far.
Yeah, and Kai read that rim play up high, just kicked it to the middle, and Matt was right there. He picks that puck clean, he's probably off the races.
Hoffman off the line, steps in to fire. McDonald backhanded it deep before he could get to it. Panthers control behind their net. Finn Henry starts out with it. Cuts back through the middle. Evades McDonald at the line. Forced to dump the puck. Hoffman plays it. It's off a Park Rapids player. Comes right to Brewer, who shoots it back out to neutral. Plays regroup. Left for Henry at the line. Off of his stick and back to neutral. He's going to have to wait while the Panthers tag up. Takes his time. Sets up. Regroups. Pestered by McDonald. Spins off a check. Regains control. And that's off Gilbertson. Shot down. That's off Brushert. Icing's waved because it hit him.
That was great.
Puck played back out to neutral ice. Going to come all the way down to the blade zone. Ekron goes D to Craig, and he hammers it back out to neutral. That'll be offside. The Blades have time into Brushert's feet. He kind of kicks it ahead. It's going to come down to the Panthers zone, where they'll play it and attack the Blade zone. Craig steers his man wide. Shot from below the goal line. Hits Gilbertson in the pads. Peterson steps around his man. Walks down, holds, shoots. Big rebound there, just out of Ekron's reach. As he had a nice look at an empty net. Peterson turns and fires from below the goal line. The Blades putting all kinds of pressure on the Panthers behind their net. A lot of play low below the goal line, and then like you had mentioned, a lot of play from there back up top. Panthers over the line. Attempted shot goes wide. Ekron behind his own net. The man on him. Tries to play it. It squirts out to the kind of the slot area where it's controlled by the Panthers, but they didn't have a look at the net as they were turned away. Ekron takes his man down in the corner. Panthers circle the Blades net. Centering attempt comes all the way to the blue line, and it'll be backhanded back into the corner. Now the Panthers with a little bit of jump in this shift, and the Blades will be forced to chip. Luke Craig's going to continue on while his line mates change. Put some pressure on the puck. He's going to turn it over. Attempts to center. That's broken up. Good hold by Casti at the line. He fires one on. Steered behind the net. Panthers shoot it around. It's going to come to Ritter. He leaves in the corner for Casti. Because we have a minute 45 to go in the first. Puck to Brewer. He one-times it off the wall. Another one-time just goes wide by Craig. Brewer, it's kind of like D to D passing off the back of the back wall there.
On missed shot attempts.
It must be lively boards because they seem to kind of rim out pretty easily as the Panthers clear the puck and the Blades will regroup. Off the wall to Nepple. He's onside. Has a little trouble and it goes in the corner. He centers. Looking for Ritter. Tough play by Hoffman. He gets back in time as the Panthers run a 2-1 rush. Big hit as Hoffman comes back to help as Brewer was beaten off the wall. Gilbertson's down. Not sure if we got a penalty here or not. And we're going to call a rough. So the third penalty of the period for the Blades as the back referee in the neutral zone called it.
I thought that was a pretty clean play. I mean, if you're going to go to the net, you're going to get hit. I'm not sure if I'd call that a rough.
Hey, yeah, he didn't hit him in the head. He didn't punch him. He didn't.
No.
He kind of came in hard on him. But again, the man was attempting to score a goal there. He did put him into the net. I don't know if there's a penalty specific to that or not, but I guess they thought it was excessive.
I was going to actually compliment Josh because I thought that was a great play because a lot of guys try to play the puck, and that's the right play right there is you play the man.
So Park Rapids 1-1 on the power play so far. But they've got their best opportunities off the power play. 2 looks at the net, and that one's in. That was excessive celebration and probably a little embarrassing.
So here we go.
And maybe painful.
Painful too.
Painful to watch, that's for sure.
Down 2-0 on a team that, I don't know. I mean, they're opportunistic, obviously.
I don't think the Blades are playing poorly. Maybe a little bit at times in their own end, but again, it's the special teams that's getting them right now. And a little discussion here at the Blades bench.
I would be questioning the refs too if I was Wurtzma. I mean, that was not a great call, and quite frankly, I don't think the last 2 calls were great calls. But it's hockey; they got to go play the game.
I think the Blades are going to have to find a way to generate a little bit more offense from the interior. It's a lot of perimeter offense at this point. It's 39 to go here in the first period. Puck down in the Panther end. Controlled by Rushard. Gives it up to Peterson behind the net. Steps out, shoots. Play to the line. And away come the Panthers. Brewer rides his man into the corner. Separates him from the puck behind the net with 10 to go. Puck chipped up to Ekman in neutral, and it'll be shot back in by the Panthers, and that'll be an icing with 3 seconds to go.
It's probably not the smartest play right there.
Probably a little bit ill-advised, as I don't think there was a whole lot of pressure on. I think maybe he thought the clock was going to tick a little faster than it did.
Probably should have backed that out and just killed down to his own end.
So offensive zone draw for the Blades. Bill control comes to Hoffman. He fires. That was loose for a minute, as that one had a chance. So Blades down 2-0 on 2 power play goals as the Panthers went 2 for 3 in the first period.
Yeah, kudos for the Panthers for being opportunistic and scoring when they can get that man advantage. Clearly that's their bread and butter right now. I guess I haven't looked to see how they've been scoring, if that's been mostly on a man advantage. But I would say of the 9 shots, I would say probably 7 of them were probably on that power play.
Yeah, again, most of their offense coming off the power play. Other than that, I thought the Blades played pretty well. Again, a lot of perimeter offense, but they started shooting the puck a lot more after about the first 5 minutes. I think maybe a little bit of careless play with the puck high in the zone at times, some ill-advised turnovers, maybe some, I don't say pinches, but almost like their blue line kind of gets caught maybe watching the play or sneaking down for offense, and all of a sudden it's an odd man rush the other way. But Park Rapids doing a nice job at times. They have a little jump in their forecheck at times, but it should be nothing that the Blades can't overcome.
No, I agree. I think they just have to play their game with these guys. The one thing that I think they've always had an advantage on, even against most teams, is the fact that they have 3 lines that can skate. And if they continue to just keep pressuring and putting pressure on them, I think they're going to end up wearing down Park Rapids. That period, even when they're going side to side in the offensive zone, when you have to defend and you have to keep going from side to side, you can get wore out quite easily doing that, trying to defend that play.
I thought the Blades were starting to win a lot of the races to the pucks in the Park Rapids zone. But kind of back to a lot of similar themes. Already the Blades have given up 2 goals in the first period. They can't give up 4 goals a game. They're not going to beat anybody if they continue to give up 4 goals a game, because they don't score 6 goals a game, unfortunately. And every game they give up 3 or more, they generally lose. Outside of the Wadena game.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's one of those things where you just have to have good defensive habits, and the PK, you kind of break down there in both goals where you just have. Well, the first one especially was just a defensive breakdown where you had one guy covering 2 guys in front of the net, and you get a guy who walks out. You're just toast. The last one, I think that was just a scrumming from the net, but he's got to be able to clear that too.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to see Gilbertson lock it down from here on out.
Yep.
He can't give up really any more goals for the rest of the game if the Blades have a chance at winning.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they need to play on their side on the offensive zone of the red line, and just keep the puck on the other end and just keep on pumping Park Rapids. They're going to eventually find it.
I think the Blades will find the back of the net here in the second. Again, they've played like this here before and come away short because of goaltending on the other side. This is a game that Cale Gilbertson needs to win for the team.
Yeah.
He needs to, again, lock it down and not just play well, but steal the game if they want to have a chance here.
Yeah, take it from Park Rapids, take away all the opportunities from Park Rapids, and let the guys out front of them go and, do their thing on the offensive zone, shooting and scoring and puck possession.
All right, any other thoughts so far?
No.
All right, well, we'll take a break here, go warm up a little bit. And
it's a cold rink if no one's ever been here.
Yeah, it's colder in here than it is outside, I think, so.
Yeah, it is.
It's a nice barn. They do a good job, real similar to our barn, kind of same shape. They do a good job keeping it up. And so it's been a good one so far. Again, a couple of squeakers got through there on the power play, but overall the Blades played pretty well. Shots are currently 9-13. And again, Park Rapids with a 2-0 lead. Blades looking to kind of get back on the right side of things here in the second, and we'll get a pretty good view of a lot of the offense here in the second as we're on the correct end of the ice here to watch the Blades score. So,
yeah.
All right, well, that'll be it for the first period. We'll be back here at the start of the second. Thanks for tuning in. All right, back here at the Panther Coliseum.
The Ted O. Johnson
Ted
Arena.
O. Johnson Arena here in Park Rapids, Minnesota. Second period action between the Park Rapids Panthers and the BW Blades. Not the start the Blades wanted, Coach, but also not an insurmountable task here.
No, at least they're not down 2-0 looking flat-footed in the first period and wasn't able to generate any kind of zone time or anything like that. The Blades, for the most part, was able to break the puck out of their own end and pretty easily, and then be able to sustain zone time in the attack. Park Rapids, give them credit. They clogged up the middle, and not a whole lot was getting through, and I think we're going to probably see a little bit more of that, so we'll have to maybe do some things differently to try to solve that problem. But definitely some positivity out of that period, even though you're down 2-0, because if they can close the door on Park Rapids, they're sure going to be scoring on the other end.
Yeah, Felton, goaltender for the Panthers, I don't think he was really tested. Blades put 13 shots on him, but I don't, nothing, maybe one or two saves in tight where he had to really, was challenged. But other than that, I thought a lot of perimeter stuff, and I don't think there was a whole lot of traffic. So Blades will be looking to take his eyes, and again, their scorer's got to score here.
Yep. I think they got to try to find the middle, like you had alluded to earlier. I think even the stuff that was in tight was still kind of perimeter shots. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty easy for a goalie just to hug that pipe and shut everything down. So, or either that, they're just going to have to get home for a rebound.
Yeah, like you said, they did kind of control play. It sounds strange being down 2-0, but they seem to have probably the edge in time of possession there in the first, and kind of could do what they wanted to do. Park Rapids counters, though. You know, they don't just chip the puck down the ice. They will counter, but they also will clear when needed. Felton shot, gloves one down from the Nepple shot off the half wall here right in front of us. Nepple in the near side corner. Leaves for Casti. Spins off a check. Sends it up the wall. Now back to the middle for Ritter. Ritter gets one off. Felton sees that clearly and melts it down.
Yeah, as you see right there, the goaltender was bracketed by two guys. I think even if there is a rebound, it's going to be tough for the Blades to get into that crease to be able to bang one home. They're definitely going to have to fight for some real estate.
Face-off controlled by the Panthers. It'll come behind their net where Gus Peterson sends it around. Wisa is checked by Casti up the far side wall. Puck comes back to Casti. He centers. Nobody home for the Blades. And Owen Hoverson will take it over and clear it out of there. Puck chipped back in. Ritter touched it on the way by, so no icing. Nepple puts pressure on the puck up ice. And Hoverson again turns over, has Nepple on a good back check. He kind of turns and tries to center to the middle. Nobody there except Hoverson. He shoots it down where it'll be picked up by Brewer. He sends it the length of the ice, chipped in by Ekman. Good hustle by Brushert. Center attempt doesn't go. Shot, poor angle shot. Shot tipped off right in the slot.
God dang.
Nice,
that was right
nice
there.
Play. Hoffman to Brushert in the slot, tipped behind. It was behind Felton, but cleared out of there by the Panther defense. Now Brushert back up through the middle. Puck chipped away from him at the line. Gets in, comes to Ekman, centers. Hoffman fires Felton off of him. Big rebound, but again controlled by the Panthers. 17 Connor Ball skates it up ice. Good back pressure from Brushert. Turns him over just inside the Blades line, and they'll control there. Hoffman misses his man, but it gets through the Panther defender, Wisa, and it comes all the way down the ice. He did get a touch on it, so no icing was called. And the Panthers chip it back to neutral. Brewer controls for the Blades. Tries the bank pass. Wisa steps up on that. He's going to backhand it into the zone now. Comes right to Lopez. D to D and out of the zone come the Blades. Matthew Peterson over the line, takes a hook. Leaves the puck for Lopez. It doesn't go anywhere. McDonald picks up the loose change and fires it back in. That's going to come clear around to Peterson. He lets it go through. That goes to Lopez. He sends it to the blue line. D-to-D, Ekron. Shot with traffic. McDonald was there, maybe got a piece of it, but Felton still got an eye on it and kept it out of the net.
Yeah, I didn't quite see if that hit, I think it was Ekron over there for that icing call.
Oh, I guess I didn't see. Puck turned over by the Panthers in neutral. Now the Blades turn them over and send it in and go for a change. McDonald pressures the puck behind the Panther net. And now Lopez in to help. Turned over. Craig holds the zone. Sends it down to Casti. He lets it come through to McDonald. And Peterson will be there. Or excuse me, Christinger for the Panthers. McDonald fires one on. Felton doesn't have it clean. I didn't hear a whistle.
Yeah.
It's loose. It's loose still. I didn't hear the whistle. I didn't think so. And it's a goal.
Oh, yeah.
It's a goal. The puck was laying behind Felton. I saw it bounce off his glove and between his legs. The ref on the backside could see it the whole time. Everybody stopped until he said loose.
Yeah.
And the Blades had 5 men in the crease at that point, and they all jumped on it and kind of outnumbered them.
Yeah, you know, they kind of were all staring at each other, but that's one of those things, and we tell our kids that all the time growing up in youth hockey is play to the whistle, right? And opportunity for Park Rapids to clear, but also an opportunity for the Blades to bury one, and there you have it. Easily could be 2-2 with that other opportunity with Isaiah there, that puck just sitting in the blue paint.
So we couldn't see it, but the official was on the backside of Felton. He could clearly see it. He was just staring at the players, kind of like, hey, I didn't blow the whistle. No one said stop.
Yep.
And that's kind of a break that the Blades probably needed after the 2 first period goals. Chip to Casti in the middle. Gives it up to Neppel. He fires. That's off Felton and out of play. So the Blades right back in this game. Shots 19-9. 12:55 to go here in the second. 2-1 Panthers.
Yeah, they picked up right where they left off in the first period with putting pressure on the Panthers here. And if they keep on pushing, I think something's going to give.
So Casti and Peterson. Peterson's going to win it clean. That comes straight back to Hoverson. He hard rims it around where Craig and Torla come together. Ritter sends his man to the ice. Now Casti centers right to Neppel. It's loose, bouncing around still. We played in the corner by the Panthers. That squirts off of Ekron and hits the ceiling. And that'll be a offensive zone draw for the Blades.
Yeah, you're seeing them trying to get that quick centering pass in the slot. Park Rapids is doing a really good job keeping that thing covered. I'm not sure if that play is going to be there. I'm going to say that right now, and then all of a sudden they're going to score on the next possession. But
Connor Ball on the draw. Won by the Blades. Came to Brewer, and he fired it on. Felton saw the whole way and squeezed it. Ball and Ekron again come together, and this time it'll be controlled. Still neutral now by the Blades. D-to-D. Hoffman fires. Looks like that was deflected up high. Park Rapids shoots it out. Kind of a funny play. Big rebound off the half-wall shot. Looks like another one came through too. Kind of a bounce play that was misplayed by Brewer and allowed for a break for the Panthers. Big collision there on neutral ice. And rink-wide pass gets broken up. Panthers over the line. Ball fires, hits the iron. Shot from the point. Hits traffic in front and into the corner. One man there for the Blades with 2 Panthers. And they'll win the battle. Peterson finally's had enough. And Michael's going to shoot it all the way down the ice for an icing call. So Blades kind of paralyzed for a minute. I don't know what happened. Everybody stopped playing and Felton ripped one off the iron.
yeah, I don't know. It starts with, I think, that failed breakout pass on the weak side, or maybe just more of a regroup play where they're looking for the weak side and it's not there. And I think if you want to go to the weak side, you got to kind of sell with your eyes, but they're staring to the weak side.
Kind of a funny face-off play as a little rainbow blooper came in on Gilbertson, who had to be sharp. Because you can easily lose that one up into the crowd there.
Flutter pucks are nerve-wracking for coaches.
Both centers are out. Or are they? Nope, they're just going to set them up and do it again. They got a warning. This time will be controlled by the Blades as they'll send it. McDonald sends it behind his net to Lopez. And he misses McDonald. And he's taken down, actually, as he's going for a loose puck. And that'll be a trip call. And the Blades will go back on the power play for the second time tonight.
Yeah, that was the appropriate call. Definitely hauled his man down.
Kind of an area pass there that McDonald was skating to. Got a touch on it, chipped it to himself, and then he was hauled down, coming down the near side wall.
You have to like plays like this for the Blades against a team like Park Rapids, where you can just throw pucks to the area and just let your athletes skate after them. You have to like your advantages with this team.
So first power play out for the Blades. And puck will be controlled by Park Rapids. They shoot it right into the Blades bench. And it'll be another offensive zone draw here for the Blades. So Henry on the ice for the Panthers, always dangerous in any situation, including probably a 5-on-3. Blades are control. It's work to Nepple at the line. Walks down with Henry in his face. Gives it back up to the middle. Comes over to Lopez. Puck comes off his stick at the last minute before he could shoot. Played down to Casti. Now back to Lopez. Box to the middle. Gives it up to Peterson. Peterson has trouble with the pass. Doesn't come out of the zone. Now it does. And that is not a play the Blades want to make with Henry real tight on Peterson. Right in his face there. That's not a guy you want to turn the puck over to.
No, I was going to say the same thing. They're obviously pressuring up high on this power play.
McDonald controls off the face-off, straight to the net with it. Fans kind of centered. He was looking to go backhand, forehand, and kind of stuff far side. Came off his stick, and then Casti couldn't quite get to the loose puck in the slot. Puck worked over to Nepple. He's through neutral, into the zone. Rounds the net. Looking for somebody. Now gives it to Peterson at the point. Give and go with Nepple. Walks down. Backside shot.
Good save.
Kicks the net off, and that'll get blown dead. So a nice rink-wide across the box pass there to Casti, who fires. Felton equal to the task. And the Panthers will get a line change.
Yeah, that's a good way that the Blades set up there to avoid that high pressure. You get a guy just looping around out of the zone and come in with some speed and catch them flat-footed for that rink-wide pass.
So if that's by design or just being creative, but the Blades looking for some different ways to create offense off the power play. Puck shot down, controlled by Peterson. Starts out in his own end, now turned back. Tries the other side. Leaves for Nepple. Nepple over to Lopez. Lopez through the middle. Cuts wide, off the wall to McDonald. Goes back to Nepple, shoots! Felton got a piece of that. That was a nice play. Or maybe that was Peterson on the pass. I thought that was McDonald. He's taking McDonald's spot here on the unit as he goes back hard for the puck. Mike Peterson with the puck, starts it up. Has a little bit of trouble in neutral. That play will be offside as there was a Panther that had fallen behind the play. So nice look there from Mike Peterson, rink wide to Nepple, who shot. Tanner got a piece of it, just scored it wide.
Yeah, a nice back check by Mikey to come back there and put his man in the wall and come back. Just lose the handle of the puck coming into the neutral zone.
Puck controlled by the Blades in their own end. D to D, now up to Brusher. Penalty will expire here for the Panthers, with the first unit kind of taking the majority of the time there. Puck shot down. Controlled by Panthers behind the Blades net. Brewer battles there. It'll be worked up to the line. Peterson buries his man.
That's how
Not before he's able to release the puck. A little bit of a scrum in the slot. Now the Blades come away with it. Jack Ekram hits the red line and fires it around. That'll get through Felton. Brewer there for the Blades. Chipped up to the line. Now comes the Brusher. He walks down the wall. Fires, just misses wide. Looked like he had Felton beat on the far side. And Hoffman kind of feathers one in. Felton saw that the whole way and will get the whistle with 8:26 to go here in the second. Shots are 22-13 in favor of the Blades. They currently trail 2-1. Casti line back on the ice. Nepple with the puck. Rounds the net. Works it high. Goes rink wide to Craig. Craig tries to get it back to him. That doesn't work. Now it's right to Henry. He's forced out wide. Ekrin comes out back hard across to help his partner out on a nice play, and the Blades are back up ice with Ritter. Tries to lead for Nepple. That goes nowhere. And Henry looking to break.
It almost hits Bob Lane. Head on a swivel over there, Bob.
Bob was probably thinking about the next power play, what he wants to do there.
He was setting it up.
Either that or what he wants to get for dinner after this. One of the two. Puck controlled by the Panthers off the draw. They'll send it around. Peterson puts a check on his man on the wall. And the Blades turn the puck back over to McDonald. Spins back to Peterson. Peterson chips to himself. That's going to go up and out of play. Because the glass is pretty short behind the net. I just noticed. That's like half wall glass behind the net.
Yeah, that's probably going to cause for a lot of stoppage of plays. It looks like, is that the same over there? No, it does go up over there on the other side. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
The rims are all the way around.
Yeah, kind of the same. Kind of medium glass height instead of the real high glass height. Blades control off the draw. Lopez, rink wide, just off of Ekrin's stick. He still fires one on, but that goes a little wide. And it's going to come back to Craig. His shot's deflected. Comes behind the net. McDonald comes together with his man. And Panthers come away with it. Blades doing a good job of bottling up the Panthers in their own end here, but not able to produce a ton of offense off of.
Yeah, these
Lopez hits Felton in the mask off the turnover and the dish from Peterson. Now it squirts right back to Lopez again. He holds the zone, has room, comes back to the middle, escapes his man, looking to shoot. Leaves for Ekrin. Ekrin with all kinds of time. Fires, and that's deflected and out of play. The Blades kind of imposing their will here at this point, but again, still shots, good looks are tough to come by, as we just saw Lopez rip Felton right in the mask.
Yeah, five jerseys in there. That transition, or where they turn over on that transition, that's how they're going to have to look to score right there, the last play.
Blades control the face-off. Shot in behind the net for Brushert. Brushert works it up high. Shots deflected, comes to Peterson behind the net. Gives up the half wall for Brushert. Brushert back to the blue line. D to D. Brewer fires, that's deflected. Over Brushert's head. He plays it behind the net for Peterson. Nope, he's checked in the wall. Now Ekrin comes in to help. Again, worked up high. Again, D to D. Just out of Brewer's reach. Gets a stick on it. Settles it down. Shoots it back deep. It's going to come all the way through. Ekrin will be the first man there. He dumps down for Peterson. Peterson takes a hit. And it's played to the line. Hoffman fires one on. That's high and wide. Comes clear to Brewer. He goes back to Hoffman. The man in his face wisely chips deep. Puck cleared out. To the line, but not out. Dumped back down. Now they'll look to ice. Good hold by Brewer. He looks to reverse ice, and it'll be controlled by Grovold, Easton Grovold. He's the second leading scorer for the Panthers. Blades come away with it. Comes to McDonald. No, excuse me, that's Hoffman. His shot's right into the shin pads of Christinger. Puck behind the net. Now rimmed around. Casti comes back hard on Henry and puts him to the ice. Ooh. Hoffman tries to deflect it in, but it goes out of play, and that'll be a neutral zone faceoff.
See if Coach Bass and Coach Wertzman wants to stay that high again after a play like that. Neither one of them flinched, though, from what I could tell.
So the Blades shot attempts they got to be up around 50, 60 at this point, but only putting 23 on the net. A lot of these shots have been high and wide. As we see Nepal enter the zone, he's hooked. He's hooked, and no call. His hands literally jerked backwards as he had a step on his man, and no call. Unreal.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit of interaction there with the refs there.
Puck controlled by the Blades. Nepal behind the net. Spins versus ice. Up the wall. Has room. Steps through Henry. He's got a step. Weak shot. Shot by Casti and a big save by Felton. Squeaks just wide.
Wow. That was a heck of a save. I don't know how that puck did not go in with Casti there at the doorstep.
So he kind of just turned and fired. Felton just kicked out a flipper. Got a piece of it at the last minute. So a little bit of deja vu from last year here.
Yeah, how a puck does not go into the net.
As the Blades kind of heavily outplaying Park Rapids in the second, but yet not being rewarded for it. Set up by Felton behind his own net. Big hit by Ritter as he buries his man behind the net. And a good non-call as his shoulder and elbow were down. Play to the line. Now to Akron. Steps down. Nobody there. Fires again wide. As another shot attempt as Henry and him go to the ice. Play to Casti. Back to Akron. Shot on. This time he hits the net. With Ritter right in the way of Felton, but he was still able to get the pads on it. Now it's played up to Henry. Cuts back to the middle. Good defense by Charlie Ekron. So it looks like we got a little battle between Henry and Ekron going on.
Yeah, it is.
That's off a Nepal's stick. It's going to come all the way down. Had he caught that pass, he might have been all alone. Craig down to help. Now comes a Lopez. Back to Craig. Turns off the wall. Sauces one over. Now it's to Lopez. He's back through the slot. Peterson finds the handle, looks for the stuff attempt in the slot, and it'll be fired out of there, and it'll go for an ice. It's Park Rapids in scramble mode right now.
Yeah, in scramble mode, and you alluded to a little bit of back and forth there. 7 and 24. 7 for Park Rapids and 24 for the Blades. We're really going after it. Finn Henry going out to the point to block the shot. Was not interested in blocking shots, so he's interested in hitting guys.
Finishing his man there.
Yep.
Puck played to the slot off the face-off. Good back pressure from the Blades. They've made it hard on Park Rapids getting through the neutral zone at times tonight, as we see a shot right on Gilbertson making the save. Puck squirts out. And controlled by Park Rapids behind the net. Centering attempt. Comes through. And that's a weak shot that goes wide. Almost connect with Lopez there on the clearing attempt. Puck played into the Park Rapids zone. Goes nowhere. Big hit by Brewer, I think that was. Now he controls it. Into the Park Rapids zone. Looks to shoot. Kind of a weak backhand across the middle for Lopez, who chips down for McDonald. McDonald finishes his check. Puck comes to Lopez. He controls around the perimeter. And he's looking to make a play high in the zone again. Puck jumps off his stick. And that'll be offside.
Yeah, I'd like to see him just kick it over that D support there on the strong side. I think he had a play right there early on and it dove into the seam and got that puck back from him instead of trying to hold on to it a little bit too long.
Neutral zone face-off will be controlled by Park Rapids as Henry skates away. It's a 1-on-3. He's forced into the corner by Craig. Craig finishes a check on him. He still comes away with the puck, and that's just a kind of slippery player he can be as he skated out of the corner and got it up to the blue line where a shot on net. Park Rapids regroups in their end. Clearing attempt off of Brushard's shin pad comes right to a Park Rapids player inside the zone. Shot from the blue line is blocked by Mike Peterson. Puck comes right back to him. He's got 2 Panthers on him, and he wisely chips it low. He follows up the play. Good hold by Jack Ekron on the forecheck. Centering attempt goes right to a Panther, and they'll shoot it to the neutral. It'll be controlled by Craig. Craig to Ekron. Ekron kind of shovels it ahead to Brushard's feet. He has trouble. It's controlled by Peterson, who shoots it in. Ekron there for the Blades. He controls, comes together with Wolverson. Now Brushard comes in to help with Henry on him. Puck shot around, that'll come right to Ekron. He steps down to help. Gives it up to Ritter. Ritter fires, hits Felton right in the chest. Kind of a seeing-eye shot that found its way through. And the Panthers come away. Good play, that'll be offside if they touch it. I think it's offside, yeah, it's offside. So good stand up there at the line by Craig to force that play to go offside.
Yeah, good D when everything's going for you like that, and you got numbers. You want Luke to close that gap right there.
So again, perimeter shots, and some of them starting to get through now for the Blades, but unless they take Felton's eyes, he's probably going to stop them.
Well, at some point in time, the guys in front of Felton are just starting to get tired, so they're not getting those lanes quicker, and Felton's going to get tired just because tracking pucks. So at some point in time, I think it'll start breaking down, but who knows?
Puck shot out of there. It's played by Gilbertson. I don't know if the icing was negated for some reason. But Hoffman with the puck in his own end. He's hounded by Connor Ball. Comes up to Ritter, who gets a touch on it, and he'll be played all the way down into Park Rapids zone. Defenseman has a little bit of trouble, almost turned it over to the front of the net there. Now it comes down to Nipple. He takes a hit from Ball, peels off of him. Brewer cheated down there a little bit. It was Neppel and him got their wires crossed. So that'll do it for the second period here. So Blades and Gilbertson did their part by keeping the puck out of their net. But step 2 now, got to put 2 more in.
Yeah, I think what the Blades are able to hang, 14 shots on net that period, and Park Rapids, I believe, was 6.
I would have to imagine the Blades probably attempted at least 35 shots that period.
Yeah, it was down into this end. It was a great vantage point for us. I'm sure you guys at home probably saw the best broadcast viewpoint from the screen standpoint, as you have all season, being right above vantage point, right on the end that we were playing on most of the time. So
right on the goal line. So Park Rapids will look to regroup, and I guess if the Blades can stay out of the penalty box down the stretch here, they have a chance. If they start the parade to the penalty box like they had in the first, it could be a long third period. But so far, probably the kind of period they wanted to play in the second, just not getting rewarded for it.
Oh, it was like you alluded to. They played a pretty clean period defensively. They did a lot of things right. They were possessing the puck. They weren't really turning it over. Again, kudos to Park Rapids for the way they play and the style that they play. They take away the middle very well. You can't quite get pucks behind them. We're just not quite generating the odd man rush. They're staying back. They're honoring our speed and whatnot. They're comfortable, I think, with us getting in the end in their zone as long as it's wide or down low. And they're just going to take away the middle and maybe just try to be opportunistic for a pass out to the D, and they can try to have us mishandle the puck or go for a break or something like that. But they're playing it. You can see why maybe their games are getting a little bit closer because of the style of play that they're playing. They're tough to crack. They're not giving up much in the middle.
Yeah, they're opportunistic too. It's kind of they don't look like anything dangerous is going to happen. Puck's kind of bouncing around. All of a sudden, scores to one of their guys in the slot, and they put it in on you.
Yep.
So, like you say, it's like they almost can lull you to sleep. They'll give you shots. They'll give them to you from the outside. Felton's going to see it and save most of those, and they don't give up that interior. And then all of a sudden, they kind of find a way to work the puck back into your end, and when you're least suspecting it, kind of get it to the slot and squeak one in an ugly goal.
Yep.
And of course, Henry's always dangerous, so he can wheel the ice on you at any time. So again, if you kind of start to cheat, get frustrated because you're not having the offensive success you want, cheat down a little bit, all of a sudden he's going to burn you. So the Blades will have to watch that in the third, not to get overly aggressive.
Yeah, that play there towards the end of the period where he skates it in on a 3-on-1 advantage for us, and then he gets hit in the corner. Nice play by Luke, but doesn't pin him, and he just comes right out. And he's only one direction, right? That's to the net. And dang near almost got a scoring opportunity there.
Well, it'll be a good one in the third. We'll have to see if the Blades can find a way to get in the interior. I think if they're going to get offense, you could see it pretty clearly in this period. Their forecheck can force the Panther D into some tough spots, maybe force them to turn pucks over it. And they certainly can win the race in the O zone to pucks. We've been seeing that all night, and but they just have to find a way to capitalize on it now.
Yeah, it's that transition. I think when guys are when the other team's toes are pointing up ice and you can turn them over and they have to now come back. That's where you can create those odd man rushes back to the net that can go in your favor.
Well, it'll be a good one down the stretch. We hope you stick with us for third period action here up at Ted O. Johnson Arena, Park Rapids, Minnesota. Again, I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors who have generously donated to the cause here at the Blue Line Club to make it possible for us to bring you this game and other games that we have this year, as well as support the players. All those donations go to busing costs, meals, equipment, and anything else Coach Wurtsema feels that his program needs to be successful. So again, thank you to them, and make sure you support those sponsors locally. And we will be back shortly for third period action. Thanks again for being with us tonight. All right, welcome back. Blades hockey action brought to you by the Blue Line Club. Up here at Park Rapids, Minnesota. 2-1 game heading into the third. It was a good second period for the Blades. They able to find the score sheet just at one time on kind of a weird play where loose puck in the slot. Everyone stopped playing because they assumed the ref was about to blow the whistle. He didn't blow for a kind of lengthy period of time, and the Blades able to poke one in. Certainly wasn't for lack of trying. They pretty much controlled all play in the second, with the majority of the play being in the Park Rapids zone. Shot after shot after shot, and Felton equal to the task on all but one.
Yeah, the Blades are going to have to find a way to score here because shots don't equal points, and nobody cares about shots. At the end of the game, to win this game at this point in time, you just need 2 more, so you could end the game with 29 shots on net and win this hockey game as long as you don't give up any.
Casty comes together on the draw. It'll be controlled by the Blades. D to Craig. He has trouble as he kind of blows a tire off the start. Henry picks up the loose puck. It's poked off of him. Craig plays it out to neutral. The Panthers back to get it. Colton Hauser has some trouble. Neppel takes the puck off of him. Now replayed out of there by Park Rapids. Over the Blades line, kicked out to Henry. His shot goes over the glove of Gilbertson and over the net. Puck played back down. Craig chips it to Neppel. His centering attempt is broken up by Henry. And an errant pass comes to Ritter. Plays it to the neutral zone and scrummed along the near side wall. Now Casty will pick it up, and puck stripped off of him. Played back into the Blade zone by Park Rapids. Holverson on a nice rush, wasn't able to complete it and get a shot off. Backdoor play, that's Connor Ball has trouble with it. It's in his feet. And a big hit at neutral ice. Hauser stepping up on Casty, who's getting to the bench now. Connor Ball gets a second attempt. Shot right on Gilbertson, makes the save. Peterson picks up the loose puck. Rink-wide pass is broken up in the middle of the ice. Now the Blades having some trouble. Shot goes wide of Gilbertson. Come around where Ball plays it. Him and McDonald come together. Peterson picks up the loose puck. Now he finds Lopez. He works it out wide back to the middle. That play doesn't work. And Park Rapids will control. They fired up ice. Hoffman blocks the shot attempt. Gets through him and dribbles into Gilbertson, who will glove it and hold for a whistle.
Yeah, I'd like to see our weak side D cut that pass off. He stared down that pass right there, and it was a pretty soft pass, too, on top of that.
So the Blades having a little trouble early getting out of their own end. Some bouncing pucks and things not going crisp. Peterson controls. He plays it up to Brushert. It's off of his stick and all the way down. Puck played back to the line where Hoffman fires. That shot's tipped and into the corner where Park Rapids will control. Errant pass comes right to Hoffman. He holds, shots on, loose, still loose. Felton dives for it.
That's one thing about Felton is he likes to go and challenge that shooter. You can see where he slid out of his net completely right there. You know, you get that rebound in front, you know, that net's wide open. He slid completely out of the net on that play.
Puck controlled by the Blades. Hoffman at the line, fires on. Rebound comes right to Ekren. He isn't able to get a stick on. Now Brewer fires. That's in on Felton. Steered to the corner. Controlled by Brushert. Back to Brewer. He dumps in the corner. Ekren will be there for the Blades. Peterson picks up a loose puck now. Walks out, looking to shoot. Leaves for Brewer. He circles back. Works his way to the middle. Now leaves for Peterson at the blue line. He shoots. Not sure if that was deflected or what happened, but it went in the corner. Came all the way around to Hoffman, who fired on Felton's glove. And it's in the far side corner. Puck played up where Brewer will pick it up. Bumps it back into the corner. Chipped low for Peterson. Controlled by the Panthers. Bryce Zupke, who takes a big hit from Peterson as he iced the puck. Peterson sent him to the deck.
Yeah, it's nice to see Mikey finishing his checks tonight. He's obviously brought the physical game. That's good to see. It's a little bit of a Mikey of the old.
So an offensive zone draw here for the Blades. Casti wins it clean. That'll come right to a Panther. And they'll control. Bodies hit the deck. Park Rapids bench wants a call, but none coming. Puck jammed into the far corner. Casti and Nepple there. Nepple comes away with the puck. Looks to get to the middle. Tries to go rink wide to Craig, and that's broken up by Henry. Gilbertson comes out to play the puck. Centering attempt from Casti. Doesn't go anywhere. Now controlled by Nepple. Spins off a check. Shoots it off the referee and into the corner for the Panthers control. Errant pass there. We shoved back down by Craig. Puck to the line now, held in by Ritter. Covering for Craig on the pinch. Casti cycles it low. Nepple comes to help him out. And Ritter comes out of the corner with the puck. Now kicks back down to Nepple. Now Nepple kicks it back down to Casti. He tries to walk out. So a lot of control here, but again, nothing coming from it. It's all perimeter. Exit attempt, broken up by Casti. He puts it back to below the goal line. Ritter comes away with the puck. Tries to get to Casti, now comes to Craig. Craig with the shot on, but nobody in front. And Felton will easily stop that.
Yeah, a little bit too easy for Felton on that play. I think that puck comes up to Luke. Luke does a good job coming to the middle. That gives the forwards opportunity to get in front of them, and they just didn't.
They had battled, that was the end of their shift, and they had battled all shift, kind of working hard below the goal line. And probably a little bit slow to get there from the corner. Puck turned over by McDonald. Centering attempt from Peterson. Comes to Lopez, that's off his stick. He leaves for Hoffman, who shoots it in the corner. McDonald comes together with the Panther. He's able to kick it up the wall, comes to Lopez. Errant pass as he missed Brewer. And the Blades will regroup at neutral ice, dumped in by Hoffman. Lopez strips a puck off a Panther. Now McDonald does too, just not able to control it. Puck played to Hoffman. He puts one on, that's kicked away by Connor Ball. Another shot, Hoffman goes wide, comes all the way around to Brewer. He tries to dump in the corner, controlled by the Panthers. Clearing attempt, knocked down by Brewer, and it's still in the Panther zone. Ball tries to clear it, held in. Centering attempt for Lopez, gets through him from Peterson. And that'll finally, that's gonna come right out to a Panther, shoots and scores. That's Easton Brovold. I'm not entirely sure what happened. It's kind of a soft play. I think we're saying it's off the bench and we're gonna get the goal waved off.
I thought that hit the bench too, but
I thought it hit the bench as well because it was kind of a funny bounce.
But no, they're not. So I think this guy, I think that was his 7th goal of the season. So when you look at that, I think he's probably looking for that play all the time. Get caught in their own end and they just fly a guy.
So 99% of the period has been played in the Panther zone, and they're the ones scoring a goal. Craig with the puck, clears it to neutral ice. That'll go for an icing. And I'm not even sure how Brovold got behind the D. Like I said, that was such a funny bounce. It was like it disappeared for a minute and then it just kind of squirted out. So I don't know if it went up in the air or what happened, but it looked like the Blades just kind of stood around and watched for a minute, and he was behind him on a break and squeaked it through Gilbertson.
Yeah, I think he just anticipated that out and just knew that they were going to be, it's either going to be an icing or I'm going to catch it.
Craig holds the zone, comes to him, he shovels it to the net. We're going to get a call as Nepple's knocked down.
They could probably call that just about every shift because there seems to be a lot of black jerseys getting dumped in front of the net at this point in time.
So Blades will go on the power play for the third time tonight. Currently scoreless.
You know, the way Matt has been shooting from the point, it would be interesting to see him playing defense in a game like this because he's done a great job so far this year feathering pucks through and finding that top corner.
Puck controlled by McDonald, leads for Casti. He's pushed into the wall. Comes back to McDonald. He chips it all the way around for Nepple. Nepple up to the line. Comes over to Lopez. He shoots. No way that Felton saw that one because I could have the same line of sight and it just happened to hit him.
Yep.
Now the Blades working it from east to west. Comes to Lopez. He steps down, thinks about shooting, works it into the corner for Casti. He centers. That's off a Nepple stick and into the corner. Puck rim back around. Gets through McDonald and Casti. Will be controlled by the Panthers, and they'll flip it into their own bench. So 9:35 to go. Minute 15 on the power play. It's a 3-1 Panther game.
The Panthers want that face-off outside the zone because it went off of Grayson Casti, and we saw the same play against Crookston.
I think it was already out of play at that point as he kind of reached over the bench a little bit.
Yep, that could be.
I think that's the point they're making there. Puck shot down right on to Gilbertson. He sets it up for Nepple. Nepple skates it back into his own end. Watched by Henry. Cuts back to the middle. Into the zone. Leaves for Peterson. Peterson and McDonald come together. Left for Nepple. Shoots it in and will be shot back down. Nepple breaks up the clearing attempt. Sends it back to the middle of the ice where Lopez has it. Leaves for Peterson. McDonald controls. Puck's put off of his stick and into the corner. Panthers will come away with it. Clearing attempt knocked down by Lopez. Henry picks up the puck and plays it back. It'll be controlled by the Panther defender. Clearing attempt doesn't go anywhere. Lopez picks it up, falls, dumps it in the corner. Puck scrummed on the end wall. McDonald comes away with it as the penalty expires. He centers, squeaks through the crease. Panthers at full strength. Connor Ball out off the bench for the Panthers. 8 minutes to go here in the third. And it'll be Brovold again up ice. Puck played onto the net. And if Ekman's not there, that's in the net. A little soft play to the net, big rebound, and Panthers almost had another goal. Good defense from Charlie Ekman. That one's going to come out of play.
Yeah, 7:50 here left in the game. Blades find themselves down 2 goals. Only 1 goal on 34 shots, so they're going to have to find some miracles coming up here pretty quick.
Henry controls the draw. Looks to wrap, comes out. Well defended from Brewer, and his attempt at the net's not harmless or not harmful. Easily covered by Gilbertson. Clean win there from Ekman. Big hit from Hoffman behind the net. Henry controls, turns, fires. Blocked by Jack Ekman, and now puck play in the corner. Wrap attempt. Centering attempt. Man crashes the crease. It's 4-2, or 4-1.
Yeah, this line seems to be getting worked by their top line all game so far, and I think all 3 goals or 4 goals so far have came out that haven't been on a power play. And it looks like Kale may have gotten a stick up high on the neck. that play.
Looks like he's going to shake it off. Blades control. Hoffman dumps it down. Controlled by the Panthers in their own end. And played back to neutral. Hoffman dumps it in. It's off his own man and into the corner. Cleared by the Panthers. Here comes the Panthers. Henry cuts outside, loses the puck to Hoffman, starts back up ice. Played into the zone. Now it's a one-on-one with Brewer and Henry. He's going to skate by him. It's all alone. Henry fires. Big save by Gilbertson. Hoffman was caught up ice. Left his partner Brewer back there, and he got caught flat-footed. Gilbertson makes a big save on Henry. Keep it a 3-goal game with 6:47 to go in the period.
Yeah, you can't give up any more if you want to come back here.
Craig behind his own net. Plays it up to Lopez. He has trouble with the pass. Craig puts his man to the ice behind the net, and now it'll be controlled by Ekron. His errant passes behind McDonald. Shot goes right to the Panther blue line. Fired on. Gilbertson makes the save. And a couple attempts from the side of the net. Still controlled by the Panthers. Blades looking all out of sorts here. And they're just happy to shoot it to neutral. Peterson steps up, and the puck still played into their zone. Ekron with the puck, squirts it around. That's going to come right back to the Panthers in the neutral zone, who are happy to shoot it in. Play D to Craig. His attempt goes right to Connor Ball. He fires. Gilbertson squeezes it.
This is not looking good at all. As we see, I think this may be Wyatt Stabb's first shift of the game.
Puck played out of their own end by the Blades. Peterson chases. Panther defender forced behind his own net. Shoots it around. It'll come down to Brusher, who takes a hit behind the wall. And Panthers come away with it. Now forced out down in the corner where Ekron is. Peterson works it back up to the blue line for Stav. He has trouble. And he'll regroup to Hoffman in the neutral zone, who shoots it in. Panthers play it to neutral. Lots of Blades back to help, and they'll regroup the puck. Peterson with it. Back across the ice for Brusher. That's out of his reach. Pokes it. Comes in, gets a shot to Felton, who easily steers it to the side. Hoffman goes D to D. Brewer with the puck. Hops over his stick for a moment. Settles it down. And now Henry of the Panthers shoots it in. Aiden Jacobson plays the puck to neutral. Now it's back into his corner. He'll retreat. Brewer plays the puck behind his net. Works it up to Ritter. Ritter cross ice to Neppel. He walks in and fires. I believe that goes high. I can't tell from here if that hit the net or not or wide. Sounded like it just went over the net, hit the corner glass. Puck shot in for Ritter. Neppel controls off the wall. Fires one to Ekron. Shot on. Loose in the slot for a moment. And cleared out of there by the Panthers. Not the first time tonight the puck had been laying in the crease behind Felton. Panther defenders doing a good job clearing pucks tonight. Henry tempted up the ice. Now he's going to gain a possession off a Cassie misfire. Him and Cassie come together. in the near side corner. Puck scrummed around, now comes to Casti. He's upended behind the play by Henry. Apple hits Lopez on the regroup. His cross ice pass is broken up by Connor Ball. Puck controlled by Lopez. Has McDonald on the far side. Circles back, dumps towards the net, comes to Lopez. He circles back. Lopez with the puck, works to McDonald. He fires one on, doesn't get there as it's knocked down and shot all the way down the ice for an ice, waved after across the goal line. So no icing. Puck played behind the Blades net. Peterson with it. Tries to work it to McDonald. Now he has trouble, turns it over to Connor Ball. He leaves. Now puck played to the blue line. Shot on. Loose puck in front. Hoffman takes his man to the wall. Puck is underneath him, that's Connor Ball. Peterson with the puck. Plays it to McDonald. McDonald up to Stab, has trouble with it. Shot back in, minute 40 to go. And that will be an icing. And this one's pretty much over at this point.
Yeah, you're not going to see 3 goals to come back here in a minute 38, unfortunately. Yeah, a little disappointing here. The third period probably wasn't exactly what they wanted. You know, giving up, was it 2 goals so far this period? When what seemed like 1 goal was almost impossible to solve for, they let up 2.
So the Blades put their goalie with a minute 32 to go here in the game to get the 6-on-5. Park Rapids is going to scrum the puck. And now we got a wrestling match in the corner between Peterson and somebody. And now Peterson's giving it to him pretty good. Not sure what happened to set that off. Peterson obviously heated, missing a glove. Skates straight to the bench. Or to the box, I should say. He's a fiery player. Now he's out of the box.
Now the refs convene in the middle of the ice to kind of see what everybody saw. Must have been a timeout called. The ref didn't like what he saw with Mike.
Now generally, once you go in the box, you don't leave the box.
Freely skating about. Thought he could just kind of sneak away.
I think he went to grab his glove and stick, but that's not the way that's done. They bring it to you.
Well, looks like they're going to take one for Park Rapids, too. So it should remain 5-on-5 with coincidentals.
We'll see what happens here. So we get the explanation and the official call from the public address announcer.
They're going to put another one in the box.
It wouldn't surprise me. Peterson was probably a bit more of the aggressor there. He might get a double minor is my guess.
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't look like it. No, the Blades will be shorthanded. So it's probably coincidentals and the extra going to Peterson. So Blades will be shorthanded for the remainder of the game. And yep, they are going to have to send one more in. I mean, it probably shouldn't matter at this point as his penalty won't have a chance to expire before the game clock does. But so the Blades will kill a penalty for the remainder of the game. Minute 14 here. Shot into the Panther zone will be played by Henry. He starts up the ice. Drives wide, knocked to the ice by McDonald. Puck play to the line. Panthers shoot. That's deflected to the far side here and shot down. Panthers pick it up in their own end and go D to D behind the net. They're going to try to kill the clock out here. Stand behind the net. Somebody's got to chase them out of there. And away come the Panthers. Big hit at neutral ice by Brewer. Sends his man to the ice. And puck will be shot in now for Craig. Craig's going to pick it up. Takes it shot up high. And it'll be shot down. 10 seconds to go in the game. That'll do it.
Yeah, not a lot that you can talk about. I mean, from a positivity standpoint, at the end of the day, you know, they did a lot of things well, but couldn't score. Couldn't keep the puck out of their own net. Got to be better than 4 goals and 24 shots to win some hockey games. And you got to be able to connect a lot more on just 1 goal and 37 shots if you want to win hockey games. I thought they played a lot more physical than they have in the past, which that's a big deal. I think they need to. They had a little bit of fire there at the end. Seemed maybe a little bit more of a Mikey Peterson of the old.
Yeah, they I don't really have anything to say. They didn't play poorly, except for maybe at times where they had just letdowns, but that's certainly not a new thing.
Right.
It doesn't matter how well you play for 50 minutes or whatever it is, 51 minutes. If you only play, 48 of those, you can get beat, and that's probably what happened here tonight. They certainly controlled play for large stretches of the game, probably deserved better, but at the end of the day, Park Rapids is opportunistic, and they get to the inside, and their scoring attempts were not sexy. They just dumped the puck at the net. Big rebound lays there, and then they have a guy going to the net to put it in.
It was their game plan was very simple, right? It was take away the middle, chip the puck out, dump the puck in, go to the net. We're just going to try to bang home a greasy one, right? That was their game plan.
Simple hockey, and a lot of times is effective hockey.
Yep.
And contrast that with the Blades, who, again, had a high number of shot attempts for the game, some missing. They started to hit the net as the game went on, but again, little traffic at times, and no second chance opportunities for them most of the time. That's not tough to defend or stop, especially if you have some people in front of the net. And like I said, Park Rapids multiple times tonight cleared loose pucks out of their slot, and the Blades didn't.
Yeah.
They also contrast that with the Blades probably passing the puck 2, 3, 4, 5 times before taking a shot.
Yeah.
And fortunately, there's no style points in this game.
They probably would have had those, right? But they failed from that aspect. So at the end of the day, the Blades they have Park Rapids coming home on Thursday, so they got one practice day tomorrow to figure out how they want to play these guys. And if I'm Wirtz, I got to figure out how I can get some shooters that can just find their spots, because I think we had opportunities to bury, but we couldn't solve for Felton. And when we did have those nice looks at the net, we kind of hit the logo, and there was nobody there for the rebound.
Yeah, I don't believe Felton gave up a lot of, second chance opportunities. He kind of sucked them in and held them. There wasn't a lot of loose pucks laying there, and when they were cleared by the defense.
So Park Rapids gets just their 3rd win of the season. They match the Blades for just 3 wins on the season. The Blades fall to 3-8-1, and Park Rapids, I believe, are 3-8. So very similar records.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens on Thursday. Park Rapids certainly determined, and the Blades probably winless in last 7 tries now against Park Rapids.
It's been a long time. I think it's been as long as my son's been on the varsity team. Just can't solve for him.
And again, probably should have had 2 wins last year.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. You know, I can't say that they should have won this game. I mean, they outplayed them, but the scoring attempts were probably in the favor of Park Rapids. So
Sure.
they earned this one, that's for sure. Well, we hope that you join us Thursday, as again we get the rematch between these two clubs. This time will be played at Stern Arena in Lofton. If you're in town, come out, cheer on the Blades. If not, make sure you tune in and we'll have the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch up with you later.